happy to be. I think I'm dying here, man.
Welcome to the 3B Video Deep Cut Podcast.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes. It was fun.
Aw, yeah, it's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and
Evil Dead Inks, and howdy folks, you like blood, violence, freaks of nature, then come on down to Captain Spaulding's Museum of Monsters and Madmen, see the Alligator Boy, ride the famous murder ride, most of all, don't forget to take some of that tasty fried chicken. It just tastes so damn good. Block, blugga, block, blugga, 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 block.
see it, hear it, and actually feel it. Yeah, that's right. We're done with large franchises, and we're dipping our toe into white trashdom.
Yeah,
back to white trashdom, because we visited some Rob Zombie.
Yeah, we were in Louisiana, so we're staying south of the border.
Yes.
So yeah, we've dipped our toe in some Rob Zombie. So like, fucking, why not dip our toe in the strangest goddamn trilogy that was never intended to be a trilogy?
Truth.
Because you can't. What do you call this? Like, as a trilogy? Like, there ain't no one name to it.
I just have them all three. Like, I have House of a Thousand Corpses, and then I just have them all right next to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why this has been
the Firefly trilogy.
Sure. Yeah, that's probably it right there. I think they even marketed it that. Now that you say it, it rings a bell. But
sounds familiar.
Why did movies get to where they are embarrassed to say numbers? Or is that just a generational thing? Did they just stop doing numbers after a certain thing? Like,
this one doesn't even have a part 2, so I don't know. Like, they just, whatever. We'll call it whatever we want.
I think the Firefly trilogy is probably your best shot there. That was good thinking. But yes, we're talking the first up is the music video of Rob Zombie's latest album. The feature film debut of Rob Zombie, House of 1,000 Corpses.
Indeed. Now, I got to go way back, obviously. Do you remember there was like a teaser trailer for this that was on some Lionsgate VHS, way back in the day, and it was raining, and there was like someone digging a grave, and it was lit blue, and that was like the teaser trailer, and it said like House of a Thousand Corpses. There was no shots from the movie or anything. I just remember seeing that on a couple of Lionsgate VHS tapes. Way back in the day, long before this movie ever got released. Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, and like it was just this. We all had this kind of like underground rumbling of like, what is this movie? Before we all finally got to see it.
Nope.
You don't remember that at all?
Did not. I don't think I saw that. I don't even know how this came into the radar. It must have just been on previews on regular ass TV. Probably watching Monday Night Raw.
Oh, probably.
That's the best I could give you. But I did go see it in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I did think there was a million nods to things. And then later on, when I got the DVD, which if we ever complain about clamshell DVDs, the first run release of this was worse. It's just straight up cardboard that folds out into 3 pieces. But still just one goddamn disc.
Those are called digibooks.
Whatever. Threw it on. I think I watched commentary, making of, whatever they had on there. And I was like, oh, I'm digging way deeper than he's digging in on this. Like, none of that stuff was... Like, he just likes 70s Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Munsters.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. That was the trailer, like the teaser trailer that I had seen, and then it seemed like 4 years.
It was a long time before, like, when rumblings of it, and then when it came out.
And when I saw it, I was living at my music producer's house, and this is like early days of internet where, you know, he could use like LimeWire or Kazaa, and he downloaded the movie. And he had this like little box that, you know, you could push like up, down, left, right, and you could like stretch your computer screen. You could hook it up to your TV, so you could like make it full screen on your TV, like our old CRT TVs. And that's how I watched it for the first time, was with computer speaker audio, like over to my right and on like a 27-inch CRT TV. And
That's more work than you need to.
Right, and I remember vividly, like, he was blown away by it. And the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm going, I don't know if, like, I'm supposed to like this. I can tell I'm supposed to like this, but I don't like this. You know, it was a really weird way to watch it for the first time, and so that was kind of, it left like a weird taste in my mouth. Like, well, maybe I'm missing something because it was a bootleg. Maybe it was like a, you know, a rough cut or whatever. And then I bought it on DVD and watched it, and I went, nope, that's pretty much the cut that I saw. So, for a while, this was a movie that I just, it perplexed me as to why so many people liked it, really.
Maybe it's the appeal to the simple minds, because, I mean, there's nothing really there much of a story. And you've said before, like, you could turn the volume off, put on one of his albums, and you're going to get the same out of this movie as if you were listening intently to every word. The dialogue is unimportant. It's inconsequential. Yeah.
I mean, it's a very straightforward, air quotes, story. It feels very much like one of those 70s, you know, sexploitation, slasher, weird type of movies. It has that kind of, I don't want to say unimportance. You know what I mean? Like,
I would.
It's like unimportant, but like also maybe groundbreaking for the genre. Like, it's a thing that kind of defines a generation or defines a decade, and I feel like even though I was jaded by the movie and kind of like, I don't know if I get this, like, it really does kind of have this hold on like 2000s horror. You know what I mean? Like,
man, I don't even know if I go that much with it, because, like, it is one type of movie. It's kind of a Texas Chainsaw original to jump, but you're intercutting it with a lot of weird, like, color alterations to the film, bits that doesn't, like, why is this in here? Like, we'll give you 30-second clips every once in a while, things that are more or less unrelated to it.
The skunk ape comes to mind for sure.
And then when you get towards the last fourth of the movie, then it changes. And I think that's what I was talking to the wife about when I was rewatching it for this recording. Was like, that I think is one of its big problems, is it's in one way going, and then it goes completely supernatural.
Yes.
And I think that supernatural twist, I'm like, fuck off.
And I think that's why I like Devil's Rejects so much, which we'll get to in a couple weeks, is because there is a giant course correct in Devil's Rejects. But this movie is just so vibrant in its color, and it's aggressive. It's a very aggressive movie, and I feel like Rob Zombie was finding his voice as a director in this movie, but he had done so many music videos and done like art direction for Pee-wee's Playhouse and things like that. So a lot of that comes into play, where you're looking at a lot of this stuff, and you know, he's realizing that he's dumping thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into something that is going to get half a second of screen time, or maybe not even be seen at all, and kind of realizing that movie making machine. And yeah, like, you know, going through all the trials and tribulations of studio movie type of deal.
I mean, I believe he's had complaints every time he's done a movie about the business itself. And I mean, if you watch some of his music videos, it's pretty on point with exactly what you're watching with this movie. Is like, oh, he just had to put dialogue in it. The one saving grace. It's hard not to give some credit, of course, to Otis, but I mean,
he's pretty rough in this movie. He's just trying to find out who that character is, I guess.
Yeah, he's kind of like Chop Top, just a few years older, like a mature Chop Top, I guess. But Sid Haig is your lifeboat in this movie.
Yeah,
doesn't get enough screen time, but man, is it precious the bits you get of him. And that's where I wish the story would more stay. Because if it's in Sid's hands, it's more fun.
Capable.
Yes.
And, okay, so here's the other thing is this is a very large family in this movie. And some people get completely written out when it comes to the direct sequels. They're not there anymore. And it's fine to kind of dwindle this family down. But much like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for me, I feel kind of like everybody sort of has a place. Like, I was just talking off air, I was just quoting the grandpa, Hugo, like the little guy. You know, he's pretty funny. Despite that whole, like, Halloween Eve stand-up comedy special thing that he's doing. I'm not a great big fan of that. But, he's chomping and gnawing on her pussy and wake up Grandpa.
There, we just summed up all his scenes.
Yeah, my favorite is when he's watching the Munsters with Otis and the cops are like, I'll go outside and take control like I always fucking do, and he like flips him off and then flips off the TV. Just sitting there eating his fucking whatever TV dinner.
It looks like there's mashed potatoes constantly.
Put me in that sumbitch. I'll show you driving.
It looks like that's all they're feeding him is mashed potatoes. And I know he's not in the sequel because he had died between the first and second movie.
Right.
And then Tiny, we lose him from 2 to 3.
He burns up in the house in Devil's Rejects, but
spoiler.
Sorry.
Who the fuck's watching these movies and not wanting spoilers is ruining it for you.
And we lose Rufus at the beginning of.
Yeah, he's the only character who dies on screen and not in real life.
And they also switched actors, can't talk, because he was played by Robert Mukes in House of a Thousand Corpses, and then in Devil's Rejects, he's played by the man, Tyler Mane. So. Me.
I don't really notice it.
Big guys.
Big muscle guys, long hair, wearing fur, whatever. But we do get
also Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got the dude from The Office, Rainn Wilson, and like one of his big first things here, playing a nerdy sci-fi guy because he's part of him and the dude that used to run the fucking Talking Dead,
Chris Hardwick.
Yeah, and that whatever game show was on whatever fucking FX or whatever channel or AMC.
Singled Out?
No, it was literally some. Gosh, I wish I could remember the name of it. It was hot and they were right when The Walking Dead was in its prime before it started its descent, where you host a show and do weird questions, and he would never. It would be like a points system between like celebrities. But he was famous for like he would never tell you like how many points it's worth. He'd be like, "That's good, points,
nice,
you get points." And I'm like, "What the fuck is the score?" It was fun to watch, but man, I cannot fucking remember for the life of me what it was called. But this,
somebody knows.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll. Oh yeah, I'm tempted as shit to look it up right now. But this is during his drinking days phase, I guess, because he's like, ugh, not my best look. But and you can tell looking at it, like, that's the fucking scrawny ass dude that did the Talking Dead.
Yeah. And he's still like fairly active, right? Like his career hasn't like fizzled out.
I know some like abuse allegations or some type of allegations came out, and that kind of pumped the brakes on him. I haven't heard from him in quite a long time.
Bummer.
I don't think that show is still on. The Talking Dead, I don't even think is a thing anymore. I don't know if it's. I don't think The Walking Dead is at the height where it's needing
It's got like 9 spin-off shows. It's just fucking ridiculous.
It needs its own post-show talk show anymore.
It needs to die.
Well, technically it did die. Now it's on 2 different spin-offs, and Rick is still fucking alive.
Can't do it. I just can't do it.
Still waiting on that movie to come out.
I don't care.
That won't be 10 years too late at all.
Right. Yeah, you didn't jump the shark at all. You just like rode around the shark a couple times.
That shark's done extinct now. Mm-hmm. Those are our 2 guys of our 4-person team here. The other are the 2 girls who just trade on and off being like in a bad mood about everything.
Oh God, they're insufferable.
Neither one seems like they want to be there at all.
And once they're covered in blood, like once they're in the second half of the movie, I cannot differentiate them.
Oh yeah, I had to like pay attention this time. I'm like, no, because when I was rewatching from the jump, I'm like, no, I was trying to remember which fucking one is it that ends up in the fucking catacombs at the end of the movie. I was like, I think it's the taller one, the one with the shorter brown hair that has the like braids on one side. I think that's the one that gets stabbed in the fucking makeshift cemetery.
It doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter what your name is.
I don't even remember what any of their fucking names are.
Jerry is
Jerry.
I think Jerry is Rainn Wilson, maybe.
Of course, one's named fucking Jerry. He's a Texas Chainsaw fanatic. Loves the 70s, which of course takes place October 30th, 1977.
Hey, that's my son's birthday. Not 77. That'd be weird. But
wow, your son is really old.
He's old as shit.
How'd you do that?
Also has one of my favorite character actors. I know you're not overly fond of him, but Walton Goggins is in this movie.
He's huge, but even rewatching, I'm like, I asked him, I was like, do you get it? I was like, because I don't get why this guy's a big star. He's always like a wormy fucking guy. He's the same character.
He's hilarious.
He's the same character in The Shield. Like, he's just a fuck up wormy guy.
I absolutely love Walton Goggins. I'm a Justified fan, obviously a Hateful Eight fan, Django fan. So, but I love that dude, and so seeing him in this and being like, yeah, like this is probably where he got his start, you know. He also does, I don't know if you've ever watched the show Invincible, but he does the voice of one of the guys on Invincible.
Nope, I can't think of other places off the top of my head that I know him from, but I remember him from The Shield, this.
With Anthony Chiklis?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to buy that whole series and watch that whole series.
I think I can get it locally for probably not even $40. Like, it's not an expensive series. It was good. I watched the first season and a half, and then I just fell off and didn't get back. But not because I wasn't intrigued. It was a damn good show. I just commitment issues.
Yeah, I know how it is, man. TV series they're tough.
Yeah, but I will give him all the credit for bringing Sid Haig back into the spotlight fold, because he was a big, again, like most people of certain age in this movie, big 70s stars, not done much since then. I know there were a lot of the blaxploitation, prison, and sci-fi movies of the 70s. Sid Haig was just all over a bunch of those. It's weird to see him young, like in Coffee with Pam Grier.
Yeah.
It is really bizarre to see him that young and thinner in the face.
Yeah, and have like color in his beard.
Yeah, exactly. But I think this really brought him back into the fold of being somebody everybody wants. So there's this Tarantino moment of picking somebody out of obscurity that no one remembers anymore in today's cinema world and bringing him back, and now he's everywhere again. Yeah,
skyrocketed. On the flip side of the coin with that, we kind of do the other thing Rob Zombie is famous for, and it starts here. Actually, it probably started with his music videos, is his girlfriend, wife, whatever, she's an attractive lady. Let's put her in everything. And so this is the beginning of the oversaturation of Sherry Moon Zombie, which is now like a meme and everything.
It is, and the one meme I'm like, it made me have pause about it, was like, why do we hate Rob Zombie for putting his wife in everything? He loves his wife, he puts her in everything he works in. I'm like, fuck, I guess, sure. I'm like, I can't
Yeah, that's true.
I can't blame
you know,
him.
and that's awesome, because it's like he's making movies with his friends and with his wife, and he's making a career out of it. So it is kind of ironic that it would become a meme, but like people just get so sick of her, and I think it's can you explain like why you think people get sick of her? Is it because it because of the laugh, the baby laugh?
In this
thing?
movie, it's the laugh. In the rest of her cinematic adventures, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so like I'm not a big
that shit just kind of came out of nowhere, like Matthew McConaughey. It's like, hey, don't you dislike that he's put her in all these movies? Don't you just don't like she's in everything? And like, geez, I never really thought about it. I didn't have an opinion one way or the other. I'm like, okay, that was kind of the extent of my Sherry Moon's in it again. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you should have just been like, well, I figured. Like, she'd be the first one cast. Like,
it's cheap. He's trying to save money. You don't have to pay that one.
Well, and what I was going to say is I'm not a great big fan of the movie Lords of Salem, like by any stretch of the imagination. I think I've watched it 3 times.
It's twice more than me. And I think and I own that. I own that shit too.
I own that special edition that came with the soundtrack. But her character in that movie is vastly different from the character that she plays in the Firefly trilogy, and is also vastly different from the character that she plays in 31. So she does have range. I don't know.
I don't.
It's just whatever.
People just hate the man. He fucking loving his wife, putting her in everything he fucking works on. I'll show him.
Yeah, that's not cool. But I mean, Tarantino is guilty of the exact same thing, except he's not married to anybody. Like that, you know what I mean? Like, if he could be, yeah, if he could be married to Samuel L. Jackson, everyone would have a fucking heart attack every time. Well, Samuel L. Jackson's in the new Tarantino movie. Like, of fucking course he is.
People love to hate somebody that loves something else. Like, Rob Zombie loves Sherry Moon. Quentin Tarantino loves feet. They're like, isn't he fucking gross and weird for liking feet? Putting them in his films. Put some butts in there like a true red-blooded American.
Yeah. Boobs.
Yeah.
Boobers.
And you titties, son.
This is weird too, because this is a 70s exploitation throwback type of movie. And there are boobs, but they're boobs in like those weird cutaways of like Sherry like rolling around with corpses, and
which is weird because I could have swore like at one point he's like, I'm not going to show her like that. She's like, I don't think any movie else there's any exposure of her like her bits, but you get
her butt.
Yeah, you
maybe a side boob.
You get a nipple here in one of those weird like. They're like promo shots for a wrestling biz. Like we're introduced to her, and then we smash cut away to like her just dancing with corpses and music playing, and completely, I guess, killing if you're like wondering what side of the fence she might be on, because they're gonna tell you like she's dancing with dead corpses. She's not on their side.
If someone needs to be killed, you kill them. That's all there is, or whatever. Like there's so many of those weird cutaway things, and they are very jarring. I think that's the big hang up for me, because I feel like if we cut all of those out, the movie flows. The movie has a narrative. The movie flows okay. But when we
for a while,
it's almost like even to the end, it flows okay. Like, but when you it's almost like pause for station identification or something, you know, like this weird little, let's have a 20-second, 30-second, sometimes a minute, like when you got the guy with the shotgun screaming, "This is hell," or what, like,
"This is hell."
This is so weird. It's just, it
holds for a while, but then it gets to the make or breaker spot to where we turned Rainn Wilson. We've turned Rainn Wilson into a fish. Mm-hmm. We've killed the fucking Talking Dead host listening to Brick House.
Oh yeah.
We've stabbed the one bitchy girlfriend in the makeshift stick cemetery while we get the ha from Baby 100 times. And then we...
Shoo shoo, said the maiden.
Then we put the last surviving random girl here in a coffin with a audio cassette tape player that's making all that weird ass... That just sticks in my head, too.
All echoey and weird.
But she gets lowered into this grave pit. And then that's...
Cavern.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden a bunch of, like, monster guys shoot up out of, like, murky water and tear the casket apart, and she gets away. And that's where I'm like, the fuck is going on now?
It's they're all in bunny suits, so they're all people that the family has put down there. So they're like, they live down there because they can't get away.
You're stretching me now.
They're all in bunny suits, man. So I feel like they've all been either notice operated on
any of them in bunny suits in that water. They'd all just look like they're like fit guys covered in tar. They tear this casket apart. She gets out of it somehow, walking down these lit caverns. Which the other thing that's, as always, the thing that bugs me is like, where's their light coming from underground? She runs across, like, Rob Zombie 40 years from now, walking down there. He's in a bunny suit. I'm like, all right. Which the first thing I would do is pull that fucking hood off my head. Like, I don't need to be wearing rabbit ears when I'm down there. And then she walks into literally, like, it looks like some shit out of Elm Street. Like, there's a room that's just a long hallway, and the hallway's made of bodies. Mm-hmm. To then a, like, entranceway that looks like some shit out of Jeepers Creepers. Corpses made, bones are made out of this, like, grand door entrance. And then into the waiting room from hell.
Dr. Giggles waiting room, yeah.
Yeah, people sitting in like a waiting room chair, and then Dr. Satan himself looks cool, but I don't know what the fuck he's working on.
Jerry.
Yeah, because somehow he didn't die to Brick House. They're killing him again down there. And then if you're only this watching, paying attention, because it's hard to keep my focus on it, they tell the backstory, I guess, of the father of this family that tries to set the place up set the house on fire.
Yeah.
Appears out of nowhere. He looks like the dude from Resident Evil 3.
He super shredders himself too, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and he's just chasing after girl, and he super shredders, like, hits the fucking pillar and buries himself alive.
Yeah, and he's the coolest looking villain in the movie.
And I'm like, where the fuck did this guy come from? Why is he just down here? Yeah,
he's like the miner.
And somehow she escapes from that, gets back to the surface, and then we're back to the other movie all of a sudden, because she runs across Sid Haig driving somewhere on a dirt road. Mm-hmm. She goes around the car, gets into the passenger seat, does not notice fucking Otis laying down in the back seat, who of course sits up, and we smash cut to, I guess she's back in the waiting room from hell with Dr. Satan. So they took her back there, I guess. But yeah, once that casket's lowered, it's a different movie. And then it really goes back to the first movie at the very, very ass end of it. And then back to the second movie a second time for the smash cuts second part of the ending.
Yeah, it's jarring. And that's I keep going. The more you're talking about it and the more you're describing it, I just keep going back to that, like my first viewing of the movie. And the whole time I was watching that first time, I swear to God, I'm sitting there with my buddy and I'm watching my buddy, like, you know how you can tell when someone's eating something up, you know what I mean? Like, just vibing. And I'm going, am I watching? I don't know if I'm watching the same thing. Is my brain different? What is going on?
What's wrong with me?
I was way younger. I can't remember what year that movie come out. So maybe I'm
02, maybe 03. So
yeah, maybe I'm
right out of high school.
Yeah, 16, 17, somewhere around there for me. And you know, I was a dumb kid. I'm a dumb adult. So I don't know.
I went with a bunch with some friend, like a friend I had in high school who was in a makeshift like metal band. So
so if you're a Rob Zombie fan, you're like, I have to like this.
Yeah, so
right?
their band and me went with them, and I was like, oh, that coffee maker. I was like, I wonder if that's from the Freddy vs. Jason, because that had just come out, and I'm like, it's the same fucking coffee maker. And like, oh, like one gray streak in the hair of Sherry when she's doing her song and dance. I'm like, I wonder if that's a Nightmare on another Elm Street nod, and like a few other things. I'm like, I wonder if that's and that's and that's, and nope, I was working way too hard.
Digging deep, yeah.
Maybe it's because I was like trying to find a way to make sense of it, but I felt I was going to be in for something fucking very different from Jump when it's the Dr. Wolfenstein bits, and then Smash cuts to a commercial for Spaulding. But I will give it credit. I love the that opening shot of the gas station. Like,
oh my god, it's perfect.
Yeah, that's there may be the best like exterior shot of the whole movie. That big neon sign and pullback.
Yeah, and then the guy with the fucking meat cleaver too.
Yeah,
you know,
like all that. I like that looks good, so good. That was on the DVD menus. Which there's the other shining star brought back for if you're. I don't know if it's on any other releases, but I know it's
not on my Blu-ray. The DVD is amazing.
But the menu screen for the DVD original run is you get an animated Sid just chewing you out constantly while you're trying to pick one of the options, which I just let play for a couple times when I first got. I was
it's real good.
I wonder if he'll say something different when he comes out the second or third time. Like, I'm just sitting there watching a menu screen. That's how good Sid is. I'll watch some shit on repeat for a few minutes, for 20, 30 minutes. Just like, he's going to do something different, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
It's awesome. Unfortunately, the Blu-ray is so lame compared. that DVD is excellent. I do want to say this, though, because I'm really kind of harping on this movie.
And it's deserved.
Yeah. But the older I get, the more I do not, mind the aesthetic of this movie. You and I were talking a few weeks back when we were plotting on, covering these three films, and you said there's just something about, I'm just in the mood for this movie. It's got an October feel. That's one thing that it really does kind of accomplish. It feels October-y to me. Wet, rainy, everyone's wearing costumes, the colors are beautiful, it has a Halloween aesthetic. Aura. Yeah, and so whenever it is cold and rainy, like we have our seasons, our mood setters for films, like we like to watch Seven when it's rainy and dark and crappy. I kind of feel like I've sort of adopted that with House of a Thousand Corpses. Like, once the candy corn starts flowing, then, people are putting orange pumpkins out and all that stuff. Like, leaves are falling. Just kind of feels right. And even if the movie isn't like a 10, you know what I mean? Even if the movie isn't like perfect all the way around and there's all these glaring things that are wrong with it, it somehow still comes back into my, like, I should watch that. I feel like watching that. So it's doing something right for that to, for me to want to do it.
I'll equate it to like a Bud Light with lime. Like, it's not a standard light beer, but it's got a little weird bits to it. Like, every once in a while, you would not drink it on the regular, but every once in a while.
Or 12 of them, yeah.
Yeah, but every once in a while, you might, like, yeah, fuck it, give me a Bud Light lime. The next movie I feel is definitely like it's a Everclear shot at 2 in the afternoon. Like, it's a heavier movie. Good, but by golly, if there's an after 9 p.m. movie next week or 2 weeks out will be that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that this one's super light, but it's lighter. I definitely could take a little less of the in my face stuff when we get into the nitty gritty of it. And some things, even the wife has like I feel it's another infamous shot of when Bill Moseley has the gun pulled on your boy, and we get like 30 seconds of just pulling back silence before he gets shot in slow motion. Which, if you're really looking at that in slow motion, man, does that blast behind him happen long before he starts pulling that gun back? Like, oh yeah, it came out of this gun, I swear. She was like, why is this so long? I'm like, maybe just trying to get runtime.
Tension.
But I'm like, I would not be surprised if it was like just trying to get the runtime up a little bit. Just like including the skunk ape.
Right, the skunk
weird ass shit.
So, sidebar, when the pizza girl dies, spoiler alert, in Tapehead Return of Jacob Cobb, that gunshot on Walton Goggins was my inspiration. I wanted it to hold uncomfortably long. I wanted there to be like, you're staring at him, waiting for him to move, and you don't know whether you should move. You're like, do I run? I'm frozen. And then, that was my main thing. I'm like, it has to be like House of a Thousand Corpses, where it's like, this is unbearable. Fucking kill me, get it over with, like. And so yeah, that's where I got that. I was like, I want it to be like that. And originally in the runtime of Return of Jacob Cobb, that went for like 40 seconds.
See?
And I trimmed it down to it's like 20. But
which is still 10 less than this, I think it is.
Yeah, this is long.
Very long. And we didn't even mention the other cop, Tom Tolles, which
oh yeah. So good.
Talk about a weird chameleon as well. Like, I really have a hard time. Even again, the wife was like, and that's the dude from the Night of the Living Dead 1990. I'm like, yeah, like it doesn't feel like the same guy at all, but it does feel similar to his role in, of course, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, which I'm sure is what the motivation was for getting him for this. I doubt it was. I doubt it was his other works. But he's good in this. He's endearing, the scenes he's in, and it's surprising when he gets his head taken off. Karen Black. There's an interesting debate to have, as which do you prefer, Karen Black, or when we get to the next movie, she's replaced, and it's Leslie Easterbrook that is taking on this role. Which do you prefer?
Karen Black. I love Leslie Easterbrook, but there's something about Karen Black.
Yeah, I
not as aggressive. It's not aggressive. You know what I mean?
I would categorize it as Leslie Easterbrook can fit in the shoe, but she's got to put her finger in the heel to fit in the shoe, as opposed to Karen Black can just, without even opening her eyes, and that shoe's on her foot.
So, yeah, Karen Black has a long history of, like Trilogy of Terror and things like that.
Come back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean. I thought that was an inspiration.
No, but, but she is no stranger to being unnerving. She can play that very well. And she doesn't have to scream, and she doesn't have to, go all over the top. She can look at you and she's got that like nasty tooth makeup or whatever. She can look at you but she can be sweet, and it can feel like you're safe. And then she can kind of like show her teeth a little bit, and then or like almost like furrow her brow, and then you're like, I think she's mad at me. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's like this subtle anger in her performance. It's really good, and it's a little lost once we get to Devil's Rejects. It's a lot of like, we'll see you in fucking hell, as much as I love Leslie Easterbrook.
Oh yeah, she's wonderful. Another thing, other than of course the facial hair from this one to the next one, I noticed again watching this time, paying attention as close as I could in some spots. I did notice that they have Bill Moseley in contacts in this one. He looks like he had some toxic waste or some shit thrown in his eyes. It looks like it's green, like he has green eyes, like toxic green eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know. The sideburns and shit are weird.
Yeah, and really, really thin hair.
Oh yeah, wicked thin hair and those wicked long like sideburns that only come down so far, like mutton. Like if you just let Ric Flair have mutton chops.
Yeah. They definitely like refine everyone's look in the sequel. So.
Yeah, I think he looks better in the next movie. He looks like fucking Rob Zombie a little bit.
Yeah, Rob Zombie and Charles Manson and all that stuff mixed together. But yeah, I don't know, man. I this is a fun movie. It's fun enough, right? Like it's just it's for a very. I feel like at the time this came out, like you said, you went with a band. Like it's got to be. I don't think like regular horror fans were ready for this, but I think like the metalhead horror fan. Can you call Rob Zombie fans metalheads?
I don't know.
I don't know what kind of music it is, but either way,
old metal / new metal to I don't know. It's
White Zombie fans.
I feel like his is his own brand of shit.
Yeah, like white trash. Hellbelly Deluxe, whatever that album like.
His music's like his movies, like it's a Rob Zombie movie. Like it's Rob Zombie music. Like I don't know what else to put it with.
My son asked me the other day because I have quite a few Rob Zombie songs when we were taking our little road trip, and he said, "This is Rob Zombie, like the guy who makes movies, Rob Zombie." And I said, "Well, he made music first." And he goes, "Which do you think he's better at, movies or music?" And I said, "They're about equal footing, like, if you like a Rob Zombie song, you like a Rob Zombie song, and I feel like it's kind of the same thing. If you like a Rob Zombie movie, you like a Rob Zombie movie, like, kind of the same. Like,
I'll listen to some of the music a little bit more, but I'm really like just treading on like the hits. I'm not really like, let me delve further into his album of hit. I don't want to explore the library. Just give me the surface level shit, and that's all right enough with me.
See, yeah, when I was in high school,
which is weird because outside of the Munsters, we own all his movies, and I'd really, which is the fun arguing point that the wife and I have of when we're critiquing someone else that loves Rob Zombie movies. Like, well, have you even seen them? Like, actually, we own all the fucking movies.
Mm-hmm. Us too. That's the Munsters is the only one we don't own. Actually, we don't own that El Super Beasto, whatever that animated thing.
Scratch if you're including that, and we don't own 31, but we did watch 31. And that was definitely one where she's like, "You want to buy that?" And I'm like, "No, I don't."
I bought it. I bought it.
I was like, "I'll just watch The Running Man if I want to see this movie better. I'll just see The Running Man and put it on in October, so it'll hit the same vibe this is attempting to do."
There is on the Blu-ray. There is a really cool 3-hour making of documentary,
which is always
one thing that
it's always your selling point to me for getting the movie. That's like the movie may be dog shit or mediocre or even good, but like he has really good extensive making ofs.
Yeah, the Devil's Rejects, if you have just the 2-disc DVD, because the Blu-ray of course doesn't have it, but if you have the 2-disc DVD, there's 1 disc that's a making of documentary that's 3.5 hours, and same thing with Rob Zombie's Halloween. There's like a 3.5 hour documentary. Incredible.
And I haven't, but man, if I wanted to, either with that DVD cover or if I just bought a poster, for all the people, like, that is definitely the head grand champion of like, so what's like a movie or something you met the most people from? It's this and more specifically Devil's Rejects. Like we've met damn near fucking everybody in that goddamn movie. And we
haven't met Brian Posehn. That's it, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe Jeffrey Lewis, because Jeffrey Lewis passed away.
Yeah, we can't meet Jeffrey Lewis without breaking some laws at this point. But but I mean, damn near everybody else in that movie. Like, and I keep looking at because I have no autographs on that DVD. I'm like, if I had gotten motivated and got this autograph, there would be no room left, period, at all, anywhere. I'd have to get a clear case so they could sign the inside, and I could see when they open the clamshell up to see what's on the inside. But I'm like, wow, we met a lot of people from this trilogy, specifically just part 2. But yeah, this is a real.
Can you name them? Can you name them? We've met Bill Moseley.
Bill.
We've met
Sid.
We met Leslie Easterbrook.
Yeah.
We met William Forsythe.
Ken Foray.
Michael Berryman.
Yeah.
E.C. Daly.
Yeah, E.C. Daly. Did you say Tyler Maine?
I did not say Tyler Maine. Tyler Maine.
Because he's in there too.
That's 8.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of people.
I'd have to look at the cast roll, but I was like, that's.
I said E.C. Daly. I meant E.G. Daly.
E.C. E.G. E.B. Daly. I.B. Real.
IBPN.
I'm gonna have to just look.
So many of them. Lou Temple. That's 9.
Goddamn Lou Temple. See? People we're missing. Let's see.
Lou Temple.
I've not met Sherry Moon. We've met. Did we throw Bill Moseley down there yet?
Yeah, he was one of the first.
Just because I was like, shit, did we? No. Not met Danny Trejo. Not met Dallas Page.
You did?
They have not.
Oh, I was like, you met them, you motherfucker.
No. All casting crew. Cast. Caden
Hodder did the stunt coordination for it, so met him.
Because of course he did.
Yeah.
PJ Souls.
Oh, yeah.
Because she has one scene. So we got PJ Souls. No, not Daniel Roebuck yet.
One day I'll meet Arnst.
Hopefully. That might be
That might be at 9. 9 might be the grand total.
Yeah. Yeah, that's everybody that's listed. So, yeah, we could have 9 people signed on that super jam-packed DVD cover.
That's impressive, dude.
It is. I thought I had a lot on my Elm Street series, and that's 8 goddamn movies, but that's just one, and then we got 9 people on it.
9.
Yes.
Anything else to say about this movie? So,
other than like, I don't know. You remember how the sequel came about? Because I don't know if that was something that they are like make another movie, or what. But like, I don't. This is definitely a movie I would like if I pose my own question to me of where do you go from here if you're gonna make another one. I'm like, I don't have any goddamn clue where you can't go anywhere wrong, I guess, because there's no way to say, well, that wouldn't fit, because nothing already doesn't fit.
Back to the gas station. Just focus on Sid.
Sure.
That's what I would have said. And probably younger you would have said. And they pretty much do. Come back and focus on Sid. Make it Sid-centric.
I guess still could use more Sid when we get to the next one.
Oh, yeah. Well, because we start out with the brother and sister on the run.
Yeah.
And Sid has to show up midway. But
I like the soundtrack more, even though there's Ramones and shit on this one, I like the soundtrack more for the next movie.
I used to have both soundtracks.
I didn't own any of them. Nope, actually, scratch. I think I did own the disc of the Devil's Reject soundtrack, but that's all in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. When I bought, I want to say when I bought the House of a Thousand Corpses soundtrack, there was a bonus disc with like the trailer for Devil's Rejects and like a blurb, like a thing, like a 10-minute like making of Devil's Rejects, which just shows like the shootout stuff, some of the shootout stuff at the beginning. I'd have to look.
I didn't have any of that. Mine was just There was nothing except like an advertisement for a Rob Zombie album inside the slip of the DVD, which I think is still in there. I think it's for his second album that came out, which I think Edge used. One of his theme songs was "Feel So Numb." I want to say.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So there's that.
There you go.
Sure. All right. Well, let's just add to the pile here with other people that dumped on this movie with those Amazon 1-star reviews.
Hated it.
Michaela. Micah is not going to do any other reviews. On June 29th, 2020, 1-star, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Just an awful film. The movie would have been this movie would have been maybe less than an hour long if it wasn't for the weird and unnecessary transitions spliced in everywhere.
Yeah.
The pacing was atrocious. The characters were boring and lackluster. At no point in the film did I think any of the actors even remotely had a chance. Well, some of this I can't argue with. The two characters in the beginning had more personality than any other characters later on, and no, insane is not a character trait. I don't even think I've seen this. I think I've seen even one good Rob Zombie film so far, and yes, I've seen Halloween, the Jason ripoff. Some of his bits in there here and there, I'm like, yeah, you're onto something.
He ain't lying.
On May 16, 2020, from Reviewer. 1-star, Rob Zombie officially sucks. Tried to watch The Devil's Rejects, couldn't finish it. Should have taken the hint. This was a pointless piece of crap. No discernible plot. Tries to be a dark comedy but isn't funny. His wife is terrible, as usual. Officially never watched another Rob Zombie movie again. He's like a 15-year-old whose parents got divorced, got mad at the world, became goth, and then decided they wanted to be a director because he had a unique point of view. Dumbest crap ever.
Wow.
I wonder if there's some projection going on there just a little bit.
Yeah, must be.
My parents got divorced, and I'm all goth, and I didn't make no movies. Where's my movie, Rob? I feel numb.
My therapist says it's not good to feel numb.
Sean Thomas on September 26, 2019, 1-star. Captain Spaulding is about the only part of this movie worth watching. You're not necessarily wrong there. The beginning is the only part that's worth watching. Everything else makes no sense whatsoever. I had high expectations for this movie given the amount of love Sid has gotten for this role in A House with 1,000 Corpses. I was severely let down. After the Captain Spaulding scene in the beginning, the movie quickly deteriorates into a meaningless montage of crappy special effects and scenes that will have you scratching your head. I would not recommend this movie to others.
I would not.
High number, 14 people found that helpful.
I was going to say, how many people found that helpful?
14. Natalie Slater on October 9th, 2019. 1-star, predictable and derivative. Bullshit, derivative. Saw this in the theater and thought it was amateur hour. But recently, a lot of my friends whose opinions I respect started talking about how much they loved this movie. So I gave it another shot. God, Rob Zombie, this is just not good. Is just not good at making movies. He should be. He likes cool movies. There's a lot of cool stuff in his house. And yet, this and every other movie I've seen of his is terrible, just totally predictable, corny, and bad. I love the logic of he likes cool movies and has cool shit in his house. He should make cooler movies.
Right. Well, that doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense. Like, I like heart surgery. I think heart surgery's rad. Doesn't mean that I should be able to do it.
I would love to have that on the cover. Like, Rob Zombie's seen a lot of cool movies and has cool shit in his house. I expected more from the movie. 16 people found that helpful.
Holy fuck.
Somebody's like, man, he has cool shit in his house, but he makes a shit movie. I'm out. Rondell Dale Branch on New Year's Day 2017.
Ooh.
1 star, House of 1000 Snores. Or Snores. I thought in my head I said snores. He says soars.
Oh.
Wow, this is a cult film for sure. Horrible and completely boring. It tries in many ways to be something, not sure what, but it fails on a lot of levels to be anything but a complete mess. Not scary, not chilling, not even shocking, just boring. The acting is okay, but the writing and dialogue are tired, and the whole premise has been done in better movies 30 or 40 years ago.
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff on July 25th, 2021. 1 star, terrible, just an awful movie with terrible acting and writing. Barbara Gramando. Barbara Gramando. January 28th, 2021. 1 star, trash. This movie was absolute hot dog water.
Hot dog water or hot dog water?
I don't know, which do you think is worse?
Well, I like
gonna-
hot dogs. So
Would you rather drink hot dog juice out of the packet or hot dog water in the summer?
Like, as in,
A dog bowl of water that's been sitting out in the summer heat.
nope, I'd rather drink hot dog water out of the packet.
All right, I'm going to say the hot dog water is worse, not hot dog water. Francisco Javier Rosa, January 11th, 2017, 1 star, boring. Francis, December 18th, 2016, 1 star, dumb. Clay, 1971, on November 2nd, 2015, 1 star, horrible.
A lot of one-word reviews.
Yep. And my last 1 star from Sharon R. Andrews on August 2nd, 2018, 1 star, 900 some odd corpses short. Don't promise me 1,000 corpses and then fail to deliver. If you're going to show a female against the corpses, don't make her such a wimpy idiot. Show me a gal who can stand up against Dr. Satan and kick his butt. At the very least, show me a woman who is smart enough not to get into the wrong car at the end.
Nice. I like that.
Like that Sharon thought she had seen 100 corpses even. I don't even know if it's that.
No. Pretty short of that.
But again, that was something I also was like, I guess it's not literally a house of 1,000 corpses because
Built out of corpses or something, yeah.
he has the Leatherface house of corpses. I was like, we don't have a lot of corpses. I guess these are the 1,000 corpses, this hallway shot.
What's this wall made out of?
People.
Bone? Femur bone?
You're all, The femurs taste like femurs.
Everything in here is edible if you're fucking crazy.
Again, a tagline I would love to have on the cover. Give me the Willy Wonka of let him do. I'm surprised that's not been on the docket, him redoing Willy Wonka yet, because that's of his era.
Oh, he probably will, you know.
We did
get that
I kind of want to see the
weird-
Munsters movie just to see if he can fucking make any movie that's not placed in the 70s and does not have any like excessive fucks and shits and goddams in it.
I'm gonna lean towards no.
Morbid curiosity more than absolutely anything is why I would want to check out the Munsters, but I've had the opportunity, haven't.
Well, if I find it in the like $5 bin,
It's been on one of the streaming services. I could have watched it off that, and I was like,
it went straight to Netflix, right? Like,
That's right. Even when it came out, like I think that when it was officially released, it was only $11, like not expensive at all. And I was like, that's $11 too much for me. And I was never a huge Munsters guy anyway.
I was, and that's why I didn't want to watch this, because like I have all the Munsters stuff. Like, I love the Munsters, and I don't want to see it fucked up. And that was kind of my deal. Like, you know, some people like Addams Family. I wasn't a big Addams Family guy. I was a Munsters guy. I have all those movies. Like, even when they replaced Fred Gwynn after Fred Gwynn died, and like, you know, I have all that shit.
I was ultra light casual with that and the Addams Family, but I do like the Addams Family movies. I mean, I didn't watch when they replaced Raul Julia because he had died with Tim Curry. Maybe the only time I'm like, Tim Curry, I'm like, I don't know about this, Wayne.
I didn't even know they made another Addams Family movie, so...
Yeah, they made another. It was real, like they replaced everybody in like the third movie. And yeah, Raul Julia is gone, so they have Tim Curry playing his role. Nobody else is carried over. Maybe Lurch is the same, because fuck else is he doing?
Right. I don't know, man.
He's the one like he'll come back for whatever budget you got. Mm-hmm. But the rest of the
MC
entire
Hammer
family,
on the soundtrack for the third one?
I don't think so. Who knows? He may have been acting in that shit. Who knows? He probably needed the money at the time.
Maybe. Well, shit.
Too legit to quit.
I like me some Too Legit to Quit.
Who doesn't?
Now that we're done with the Amazon 1-star reviews, Evil, what does that mean?
It's time to lace up the boots, cue the Motorhead tribute band, and let's play the game.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
It's all about the game, and how you playing? Humans ain't nothing but nothing. They're all like scared little rabbits. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, 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 rabbit, run.
Indeed. Oh, that's excellent. It is indeed time to play the game. And if you're new here, welcome. But you're probably scratching your head asking yourself, what is the game? Well, the game is a deep cut in and of itself where you got to pick a prop from the movie that we are covering, but it can't be a well-known prop. We're covering House of a Thousand Corpses, so...
You ain't got... There ain't no...
I don't know what else to... I guess everything's a deep cut prop from this movie, so just tell us what you want.
The color
let
filter.
Us know. Yeah, let us know.
Can't take that.
On the comments on this podcast. Let us know on Discord, Patreon, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you find us, because we want to know what weird thing you would take from this movie. I don't. I'll go first, I guess.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Sure. Having a good time.
Yeah, not. Yeah.
I can tell you put a lot of thought into this one.
Well, dude, because it's again, I say this every 2 weeks, but like there's so many things you could take. This movie there's a line in the movie where like some bitches ought to have a yard sale or never had a yard sale or whatever.
Pack
like,
rats ever throw anything away?
I guess not. Like this movie is an assault on the senses of like there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff everywhere. And you and I both, we really like that opening sequence and everything with Captain Spaulding. So I think if I had to take anything from this movie, it would be the like big flip-off monkey hand that has the bathroom key on it.
Oh, yeah, which changes to like it's showing like the devil like rock out sign when you see it the second time. It goes from the middle finger to the rock sign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's, if I got to take something, I'd probably take that. Maybe the Agatha Christie O's cereal that Tiny is eating.
Gross.
But yeah, there's just so many weird like paper mache things and doll heads and
those paper mache masks are fucked up.
Yeah, they are.
Like they look like they're unnerving looking. Not all of them. They look like some shit I would see of people that would kill me in New Orleans.
Yeah, or like 1920s Halloween. Like
yeah, these are all Mardi Gras massacre masks.
Terrifying.
100%. I'm gonna take the giant neon sign.
Nice.
Just attach that shit to the front of the house.
Just right on the roof.
Yeah, we're here for the Monsters and Mad Men. Like, this is from the movie.
Yeah. It's got that like loop playing too. Like, see it, hear it, and actually feel it.
The wife would definitely cut that wire after the first hour, for sure. But the giant sign, the neon sign, looks gorgeous. I would just put it over my kid's window. So it's blaring through on her side of the window. You can't see out the window, but you can see the light through it.
Why do you have a suntan on one half of your body?
No, that's from the Museum of Monsters and Madmen.
Like a fucking bug zapper.
Yeah.
She has like a grate.
Oh, that'd be the worst in the fucking dead of summer. All the bugs that would just be hanging on that fucking sign. It'd be like a September project, just cleaning the shit out of that sign every year.
Hosing it down.
And fucking recording it and putting it up so I can just drive all the zombie fanatics nuts and like, oh, my sign's all crusty and dirty. Let me just hammer it out really quick there. Just damaging the shit out of the sign. Like, none of y'all want this, do you? I ain't selling it anyway. I'm gonna keep fucking it up.
Just spray painting it. Don't bother cleaning it. Just spray paint over it. Yeah.
Yeah, just leave the bugs intact on it.
That's the white trash cleaning right there.
Yeah, 100%. That's the Firefly method.
Mm-hmm. Just a fresh coat of paint over all the bugs and innards and whatever.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm taking from House of a Thousand Corpses. Again, somehow, one way or another, send us what the fuck you would take, because, yeah, maybe if people start telling us what they would take, we'd have an idea what a deep cut might be for this fucking movie, because I don't know what would be.
And basically what I was gonna say was like, maybe not like Captain Spaulding's
the Rainn Wilson fish boy suit.
Fuck that. That ain't low hanging. I'm taking that too.
Just hang him
the
in
alligator boy or whatever.
Fish boy.
How'd you like to find that in your pants? Or whatever.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
But if you travel cross country, but I don't. But if you did, but I don't.
Let me ask you a question. How come you're asking so many jackassy questions?
Son, look around. Would I be surprised?
No, you would not. And I suppose, Evil, on that note, we should probably get going because, after all, there's a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
Well, I tell you what, Ski King, why don't you take your mama home some chicken and then I won't have to stuff my boot all up in your ass?